TPRQ World Headquarters, this is News Report. And now, here is Jacques.
Good evening. This is Jacques with a special edition of TPRQ News Report. Today we're going to give you a few headlines that are pertinent, relevant, and current. And then we're going to have a special feature right after News Report that I'm thinking you're gonna love. So stick around for that, because at TPRQ you never know what's going to happen. All right, with the first news story. Oh, and I might add that with each news story, you're going to hear the headline, and then I am going to give my commentary afterwards, all right? So this isn't just news report, it's, as Paul Harvey used to say, news and comment. All right, here we go. The first story we are going to touch on today is Ebola. It's a scary, scary issue, and even today, as I Vidia this news report, there are news situations what are airing live, possible another discovery of one in Frisco, Texas. So watch out, people. But what I wanted to talk about is the news story from a day or so ago, where the latest Ebola patient was being flown in from wherever, usually it's Liberia, Monrovia. As an aside note, did you know that Monrovia, Liberia, was named after President Monroe
of the United States of America?
Did you know that? And guess what else? And this is going to be pertinent for what we're going to be talking about later in the show. But here's the United States flag. Everyone probably knows what that looks like. Very recognizable, especially if you're a U.S. citizen.
But looky here.
Here is the Liberian flag. Well, guess what? Kind of similar. And they name their capital after one of our presidents. I don't know.
Call me crazy.
All right. So anyway, they bring the latest person, kind of latest person, what has Ebola, to the United States. And where do they take him?
Nebraska.
Nebraska?
I don't know. It just seems kind of bizarre. There's a hospital in Nebraska that is most suited to handle this situation?
Nebraska? Hey, that's my comment on that story. The next story we're going to talk about is Hairgate. Kind of. The new iPhone 6 is being accused of pulling people's hair when they bring it up to their ear and talk. Personally, I've never had that problem. And yet, on this new one, they're saying there's a little thin connection between the back and the front where it's far enough apart where a strand of hair can get in, and when you go to be done, hang up. Do they still call it hanging up? You hang up? I mean, you used to hang. I digress again.
Boobies.
How do you get rid of the boobs? All right. So, anyway, my commentary on that non-news story is this. I think it's Galaxy Samsung wannabes that are planting these stories. Okay, it may pull a hair or two. A, your hair is probably too long, if it is. And two, go get a Galaxy Samsung then.
More for us Apple fanatics, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, and now we move on to the Consumer Advocate Division of TPRQ. CVS Health, formerly known as CVS. Does anybody know what the letters CVS stand for? consumers viciously shopping, perhaps? I don't know. CVS is accused of faking the sizes of their products to make it look like you're buying more when you're not. You know, like they would put false bottoms in, you know, and so the bottle's this big, but really it's like, you know, there's a big, huge. Well, my first commentary on that would be, pardon me, people, read the labels, how many ounces, that's a bigger thing. And two, let me go get you something that I think needs to be investigated. I'll be right back. I'm not much of a wine snob. I don't know really how to pick out the good ones, although I know I like Cabs and Zins and Pinot Noirs and Shiraz, and I like them pretty much all. Even the Rieslings and the Pinot Grigios and the Grimfernakis, I like them all. Wine is a good thing, but guess what? Look at this. Talking about CVS, 2 knuckles worth. So, since I'm not a wine connoisseur, you know how I check out a wine? I kind of broke the rule on this one because they had a taste test and I liked the taste of this one. But when I go for a bottle of wine, I like to see how honest my vintner is. If my vintner is selling me a bottle with 2 knuckles missing, then I don't buy it. That's how I gauge which wine I'm going to buy. By how much they're trying to rip me off. All right, let's get rid of this. You didn't know I had a little magic up my sleeves, did ya? All right, anyway, that's news report for right now. Stay tuned because guess what? We are not done yet. It's time for TPRQ regular edition, and right now we're going to switch over to that. Right now.
This is TPRQ.
All right, I'm back, and guess what? The screen has changed because we're no longer on news report mode. Now we're on Terra Prime regular quality mode, and this episode is going to be titled Flags with Fun. I want to thank alert and gentle viewer Rudy for suggesting we talk about flags, and so we're gonna. I have some credentials in this matter. I am a vexillologist, that's one who studies flags, and I am a vexillographer,
which means one who designs flags.
So, today we're going to discuss flag design and the proper design of a flag. And I'm going to throw up some, not literally throw up,
I don't have Ebola.
I'm going to throw up some examples of flag design. Here, watch this. I'm so good. Right here on our Studia Vidia screen, you're going to see a montage of what I consider, and actually vexillologists across the world agree pretty much, examples of good flag design. All right? A flag is a banner, what is usually flown outside, and it needs to be recognizable from a far distance. That's what a flag is. You see it on flag poles, on buildings from far away. So the design, it's not something that you write little teeny things on and expect people to understand what that is. It's just the purpose of a flag is to be bold and to immediately let people know what the flag is representing. These are examples of good flags. They're colorful. You can see exactly what flag it is, even from far away. They are symbolic. Some of them are more elaborate than others. Some of them are painfully simple, and yet it's a good flag design. And so these are the examples that I would like to bring to your attention as to what a good flag is. Now, Some of you may be aware that my alter ego launched a campaign not long ago to change the state of Oregon flag, of which I am a citizen. The back and the front are different, but that's the only good thing about it. Because the state of Oregon flag is pretty much really a lot like about 20 other U.S. state flags, and these flags are now showing on the screen. This, in my opinion, is the example you want to look at when you're looking at poor vexillological standards. Flags should not have writing on them, all right? If you need letters on there, then you're missing the whole point of using colors and symbols to show what you're representing. That's what a flag is. A state seal is a great thing. I personally think ours is beautiful, actually. But it doesn't belong on a flag. Yeah, people are saying, yeah, but ours has the obverse is different than the reverse.
I don't think people really say that. They don't know what an obverse versus reverse is, but
if you're a vexillologist, you do. Okay, that's the one thing that Oregon has going for it, but it doesn't outweigh the cons. And the cons are, it's pretty much flipping like 20 other state flags. How do you know what state you're in if you look up and you see it dark blue or blue with a state seal? How do you know? I would be lost, and I frequently am. When I go to Montana, I look up and I think, wait a minute, am I in Oregon? So anyway, this needs to be fixed, and it needs to be fixed now. And my alter ego has launched a campaign which failed miserably in the Oregon legislature.
But if you know any other legislators who want to reintroduce the bill, contact me.
And also go to this website, which is going to be listed below, to see my proposal. You haven't seen it yet. Some of you have, because it was a huge success. Well, yes, and then there were a few news stories that kind of trashed it. But, you know, I can handle criticism. And I ain't backing down, even though the flag is dead in Senate committee. We could try again. So anyway, thank you. I think we're done, aren't we? I think we are done. So anyway, thank you for joining me. I'm Jacques. Thank you for watching TPRQ, the news report, and this fun little episode called Flags with Fun. Thank you, alert viewer Rudy, for writing in and suggesting this topic. I hope you've been elucidated, Rudy. And so, subscribe to my channel, please. If you liked this thing, but you really don't want to make the commitment, I know it's a big commitment to subscribe. Yeah, right. But if you liked this episode, click the thumbs up, give me a like. I need likes, okay? Share it, post it on your Facebook feed so that others will know to watch. And then, of course, email me, xo@tprq.net. And be sure to join me every Friday and usually once or other twice during the week too. I'm Jacques. Thank you for joining me. And remember, today is your day to take out the trash.
This is TPRQ,